Gentleman's recognized.
Chairman McKeon and Ranking Member Smith, thank you for this opportunity to testify about the FY 2014 National Defense Authorization Act. I'd also like to thank the Chairman and his staff for being so accommodating so that I could testify in person. I have the honor of representing El Paso, home to Fort Bliss and the Army's 1st Armored Division, along with nearly 33,000 soldiers and their family members. I was reminded again this week of the incredible sacrifice these service members and their families make to our country when 5 soldiers from Fort Bliss were killed in an IED attack in Afghanistan. I would like to testify about 3 things today. Number 1, the ability of Fort Bliss to adapt to the changing needs of the Army and the amazing support it has in El Paso. Number 2, the new Army hospital at Fort Bliss. And number 3, the importance of the tuition assistance program. The Army's ability to field a ready and capable force to meet its mission requirements has been placed at risk by fiscal challenges in fiscal year 2013, especially the sequester. Despite these challenges, the Army remains the best trained, best equipped, and best led fighting force in the world. I urge this committee to use the National Defense Authorization Act to guarantee that this remains true. Even absent the sequester, the reality is that the Army is significantly reducing its active duty force. This reduction should be carried out in a way that prioritizes readiness, balance, and flexibility. Fort Bliss is well suited to help the Army meet these objectives. To echo the words of former Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta when he visited the installation, Fort Bliss is the premier post in America. The El Paso region and the entire Fort Bliss community continue to go above and beyond in their steadfast support of our soldiers and their families. El Paso has invested over $2 billion in highway projects, new schools, and a children's hospital to support the growth at Fort Bliss. Recently, we agreed to tax ourselves to pay for additional quality of life projects around the installation. Civil, political, and business leaders all work closely with Major General Petard and Fort Bliss leadership to make El Paso a great place for soldiers and their families, and we will continue to do so. Fort Bliss has always responded swiftly when the needs of the Army have changed. In 2005, it became the new world-class home for Old Ironsides, the 1st Armored Division, providing nearly 1 million acres of maneuver area for this division to train, and later seamlessly receiving several brigade combat teams and their supporting units. Fort Bliss is uniquely situated to serve the evolving needs of the Army. Service members and their families depend on top-quality health care from the Army. Thanks to the past work of this committee, the new William Beaumont Army Medical Center stands ready to fill this role. The hospital complex will have a 7-story hospital building with 135 private rooms, 30 specialty clinics, and a 4-story administration building. The hospital is designed to last for the next 50 years and is expected to set a new bar in patient care for the Army. I urge this committee to continue to support this project so that our soldiers, including our wounded warriors returning home, receive the world-class care that they deserve. I also urge the committee to continue support for the Military Tuition Assistance Program in fiscal year 2014. In the last year alone, this program has allowed service members to take 870,000 classes and earn over 50,000 degrees, diplomas, and certificates. It constitutes 0.1% of the Department of Defense's budget. I was proud to work with Joe Wilson from this committee on maintaining tuition assistance during the CR debate. Denying our brave men and women access to education programs will negatively impact their ability to carry out their missions while in service, and it will also make it harder for them to find jobs after transitioning out of the military. Recently, I led 68 of our colleagues from both sides of the aisle in submitting a letter to the Defense Appropriations Subcommittee to support full funding in FY14. While I don't serve on this committee, I have a very keen interest in seeing these priorities carried out. I thank you for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you. Any questions of the gentleman? Thank you very much.